T.S. Eliot's essay, Tradition and Individual Talent, revolutionized literary criticism, emphasizing the importance of tradition. Dr. Rathod, could you delve into what Eliot means by tradition?
Certainly, for Eliot, tradition is not a mere imitation of the past but involves a historical sense. This means recognizing the continuing presence of past literature. For instance, Eliot saw all European literature from Homer onward as an unbroken whole influencing modern writers.
That's fascinating. But could critics argue that this focus on the past stymies innovation? Some might say that it limits the individuality of the artist and keeps them tethered to bygone eras.
An insightful counterpoint. Eliot acknowledges this tension, however, he argues that referencing tradition does not restrain creativity. Instead, it provides a framework for innovation. Consider how modern remix culture honors the past while creating something new.
Interesting. So, how might this concept guide future poets and writers in balancing innovation with tradition?
Future writers can use Eliot's idea as a compass, blending the old with the new. They can create works that resonate universally by understanding and reimagining historical connections, ensuring both past and present coalesce productively.
Eliot's theory of depersonalization challenges the notion of the poet's emotions driving their work. Dr. Rathod, how does Eliot juxtapose traditional views on poetic emotion with his own concepts?
Eliot suggests that the poet's personal identity should be like a catalyst, affecting the reaction without being part of it. Using a chemistry analogy, he describes the poet as a piece of platinum in a reaction, crucial but unchanged.
A compelling analogy, but to some, this might seem like it strips the artist of personal expression. How do critics respond to such a seemingly detached view of the creative process?
This is a valid concern. Critics argue that such detachment could oversimplify the role of emotion in art. Yet, Eliot clarifies that while the personal is subtracted, the result is a more universal creation. Think of it as a sculptor chiseling away to reveal a resonant form.
How might this approach impact future progression in literary and artistic fields?
Future artists can use Eliot's approach to transcend personal biases and create works with broader appeal. This universality may pave the way for art that speaks to diverse audiences, preserving timeless relevance.
In Hamlet and His Problems, Eliot introduced his concept of the objective correlative, suggesting a formulaic approach to expressing emotions in art. Dr. Rathod, could you explain this intriguing idea?
Eliot's objective correlative is about finding tangible symbols or events that evoke particular emotions. He criticized Hamlet for lacking this, which led to the play's emotional ambiguity. By contrast, Lady Macbeth's sleepwalking is a perfect example, embodying guilt.
A compelling critique. However, could such an approach limit artistic spontaneity, boxing creative minds into formulaic expression?
That's an interesting perspective. While the objective correlative provides a structured method, it doesn't necessarily constrain creativity. Instead, it can amplify emotional impact without diluting intent. Consider how filmmakers use visual motifs to convey complex stories.
In what ways could this method fundamentally alter future artistic endeavors?
Artists may increasingly borrow from Eliot's idea to craft emotionally potent works. By merging structured representations with creative expression, they can evoke deeper connections with audiences, benefiting cross-disciplinary art forms.
T.S. Eliot had distinctive views on criticism and metaphysical poetry, emphasizing a critic's internal voice. Dr. Rathod, how do these ideas align with contemporary literary criticism?
Eliot argued for fact-based criticism, distancing personal bias. He praised metaphysical poets like Donne for blending intellect and emotion. In today's context, this aligns with data-driven critiques that integrate empirical frameworks without overshadowing subjective interpretation. Indubitably, Eliot's approach could prompt a more holistic criticism, blending cognitive analysis with emotional resonance. Future critics might navigate both realms to offer critiques that inform and inspire enriched literary experiences.